guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video we're going to be making FRESHIES, so car FRESHIES, basically air fresheners. So these are some FRESHIES I have pre-made before. So I'm going to show you how I made these, and I'm also going to show you or tell you about some problems I had making these, so just so that you don't have the same problem again. So initially I started out with what was 100 grams and it just wasn't absorbing. I started off in this small jar, 100 grams. After about a week and a half, it just wouldn't absorb. I added more beads and the beads filled right to the top, wouldn't absorb. I transferred to a bigger jar. Again, added more beads, still wasn't absorbing. So I upgraded to an even bigger jar, added more beads, no more fragrance oil, and finally beads are now ready. So it could have been that I added too much oil per beads, although I followed the recommended quantity, so it could have been the oil that I used was too oily, or I just added too much oil, or I needed a bigger jar. I've just got one of these jars because I wasn't sure if it would work. But in there now we've got a good amount, and this is in the fragrance Ruby Jasmine. So the FRESHIES we're going to make today, we're going to make with these because, as you can see, these are ready. But I'm going to show you how to make some FRESHIES. So what you need is you need some aroma beads, or soak beads they call them here in the UK. So here are the soak beads. They're basically beads that absorb a fragrance. So I've got a bag of these. I found these on eBay. So I've got that. I'm just going to use this jar today. So I'm just going to zero that. So I'm going to be doing it in ounces, even though last time I did it in grams, just because a lot of the videos you see online tell you in ounces. So I'm going to be putting in 4 ounces of these aroma beads. Try not to spill them all over the table. So I'll just pop 4 ounces in. Okay, so you can see I've got the 4 ounces of beads in the jar. The next step would be to add your fragrance oil. So I've got this one here, 1000 Wishes. So it says to add either 1 ounce to every 4 ounces of beads, or 1 tablespoon. I'm going to try doing it in the tablespoon method rather than the 1 ounce, just because last time I added too much. So I'm literally going to put the tablespoon over, fill it with the oil and pour that in. And we don't want to put too much oil, or fragrance oil. And then final step is we just need to add some colour. So I've just got some mica powder, and you need to add the tiniest amount. I'm going to make this one teal, and I think I might have added too much mica powder in my last mix also. So I'm going to use the tip of the spoon. I'm just going to grab a bit of mica powder. I'm just going to grab that much mica powder and pop that in. Then all that's left to do is put on your lid and shake. Give it a shake in all directions. And this will basically take, they say anything from 3 days to a week to cure. Mine took about 4 weeks, my first ever time. But as you can see, they're all stuck to the jar. So that's when you know they're not ready. So every time you go past them, wherever you keep it, and they say the warmer the place that you keep them, the faster they'll cure. But you can see the difference between cured beads and uncured. So now this isn't ready to be used, this has to be set aside, but we have got some ready to use and we're going to do that today. So I've got an old baking tray here now, so once you've used this for freshies, don't be cooking on this baking tray anymore. And then I've got a bag full of silicone moulds that you would have seen in my AliExpress haul, that I got these specifically to make freshies. So I'm not going to go crazy and make a whole load because I've never done it before. So we're just going to make a couple. So I'm going to use this one. So I'll place that on, and I think I've got a little owl that I want to make. So they're only little. Got this one. And I think we'll make one more, which is this one. So I've got those on, and now basically with these I'm going to fill these moulds. So I've got the moulds filled. This one was really fiddly. I had to almost use a toothpick to get into this little bit there. But I filled them. I made sure I went round the backs where they've got the bit where it's going to have the hole. So hopefully that will hold up. I've almost patted them down as well. So I've got my oven preheated to 300 degrees Fahrenheit, or that's 150 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to put these in the oven for 10 minutes. Okay, so these have come out of the oven, and what I'm doing is with the spoon, I'm just pressing down around the edges to make sure I've got no sharp bits when these finally come out the mould. But I won't be demoulding these until they have completely cooled down. So I'm just going to do that. They still feel a bit spongy, so I might just do this and then put them in for another minute or so. You can see they look a bit spongy still. So I'm going to put them back in. Okay, these are out the oven now, and I think they've been in for a total of about 15 minutes. But this one kept pushing up, so I actually, with the spoon, I pressed down, and especially in this bit there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these cool, because they still feel a bit spongy. I'll let them completely cool down, and then we're going to come back for the demould. Okay, so these look like they've cooled down enough to touch and demould. So they're cool to touch, and you can see that they look all pressed down. So this is my first ever attempt at freshies, so I don't know how they're going to turn out, so wish me luck. So I want to start and demould this one first, because this is the one that I thought I'd have the most trouble with because of this bit here, because this was really fiddly to get the bits in. And when it came out the oven, I made sure I pressed down in there because I was concerned that it wouldn't keep the hole. So, you ready? Let's demould. I'm gonna be gentle. Oh, some are falling out. But there's my owl. Now some people do colour these afterwards, but you know, my first time I'm not going to attempt to colour. And then I have got some loose ones in there that haven't sort of set in the mould, but hopefully that won't completely break apart. So that's the first one, but that just could be this mould isn't suitable. We'll try the next size up. And I think because these are quite thin, so the thicker you do them, obviously the stronger they are. So there's the next one. And here you can see the detailing on there, that if you actually do attempt to start colouring these in, that could actually look really pretty. And this one feels a lot more solid. So I just think this one, maybe the mould maybe wasn't the best one. And compared to how some people do them, this is quite a thin mould. And then finally this one. Wow, that one's come out really good. They still feel a bit bendy, could be because they're quite thin. But otherwise that's come out really nice. So there's my first ever FRESHIES. So the next step, what I want to do with these is I've got this like elasticated string. I got this off AliExpress also. So I'm just going to add some elasticated string to them, just so that you can then tie it to your rim mirror. So we'll pop that through. Like so. Tie a knot at the top. And there you have it. I have got these bags. So these bags are used for my scented crystals. I don't know if this one will fit in there. Oh, that's not elastic on it. Yeah, this one's too big. It won't fit in there. But this one I'm going to put straight into my car. I'm going to hang it straight in my car and see how it scents the car. But we can do the small one. So same again. Cut some of that. If you want to tie a knot there, we'll just tie a knot there to secure it. Tie a knot there. I'll cut off this excess. That's that one, and then this one will fit in this bag. And then it keeps the scent. So then you want to bag these up in something that will hold the scent, and then that way it won't lose the scent until you're ready to use it. Otherwise it will start obviously losing its scent. And there we have it, bagged it up. So I'm just going to do the owl. So there you have it. There they are bagged up, so they're ready to go. I'm going to test this one out in the car. If I make these more to sell, then I will need to get a bigger bag to fit these in, so that then I don't lose the scent. Still feels a bit pliable. If I really wanted to, I think I could snap that, but hopefully I'll see how it goes over time. I'm going to put that in the car, and yeah, I hope you found something from this video helpful. I'm quite impressed in my first time ever making Freshies. I have got thicker moulds to use, but I liked these sort of stone effect moulds, like these two in particular. So they're the ones I wanted to do, even though they are thinner than the standard Freshie moulds. But you can get the bigger, thicker moulds. Obviously you will use more beads. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give the video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and be back for more crafty videos. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.